All right, everybody. It is 2 o'clock p.m. and it's time for Soul Pose Saturday. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE coming at you live today. What's going on, Quick Pump? Hey, T Ryder. Everybody else that's joining me, this is going to be just strictly Q&A. Last week I experimented with just playing one video and doing the Q&A, but the results didn't come as they were. In fact, they were actually worse. So I'm just going to keep the video reactions to Earl Grey Tuesday and the Midnight Run. All the other 1 hour live streams are just going to be strict Q&A. If someone requests for a specific video or so forth, I may or may not play it. But from now on, I'm going to keep this the way it was, as Q&A. But what I'm doing today, of course, business hours on my businesses from 9 a.m. till actually 2 o'clock p.m. I'm probably going to head downtown. I worked out the other day. So I'm still going to do a back workout, but it's going to be at home, get on the Bowflex Max Trainer. I'm actually going to go downtown while it's somewhat warm and just hang out for a bit, read a couple books and stuff. I got my, they actually bricked my, my Kindle Paperwhite. But I have another regular Kindle, but I don't like really reading on that because it can be very distracting. You got some medium roast. Awesome. I got to get me a new maca pot. I've been using my French roast lately, which I don't like using because it uses more grounds and stuff. McCluck is manipulating the votes. Votes for what there, Showcase? Hey, Tiramisu, what's up, man? I do want to make one thing clear. I did have to time out someone last night. Folks, if you don't want to donate, fine. But if you talk shit about people who do donate, then naturally I'm going to time you out there, Don't ask for anyone that donates, whether it's Pugman, Joel, Athens, or anybody else that's donated to this channel, okay? Like I said before, it's your choice whether to donate or not. I've always done these live streams for fun, Revenue comes when it comes, folks. And there's a lot of things that I'm working on as far as creating shorts for other streams from content that I've already created. I have over 100 hours of live streams, folks. I mean, literally about more than 100 hours, maybe even 200. So believe me, I can turn that into money, which I intend to turn into money, folks, pretty soon. So again, don't really worry about donating or so forth. But if you talk shit about people who donate, and because one, I appreciate everyone that has donated to this channel and has helped build the channel. But, if you're going to talk, it's one thing not to donate, but if you talk shit about, even you guys, fellow piss troopers, got to know that, that's just not going to cut it, Donations is not reparations here, Showcase. Donations is donations. You have to remember, I've been in business for over 20 years. I know how to make money, folks. I know how to utilize content and build websites and stuff like that, Yeah, no, that's just, Oh boy. So what are you guys doing today? And feel free to ask me any questions if you want me to review something, but What kind of votes is McCook actually manipulating? Let's go to my Instagram. I'm going to be doing a lot more with Instagram, folks, by putting up some shorts. You guys I've already tested out a couple of them, and it seems to have worked very well. That is disgusting. First video that comes up is from McCluck that I see is someone squeezing their cheeks to make an egg. Tosh is messing around. Yeah. I've had this watch for a while. How much did I pay for this watch? I paid a little over $200. I paid too much for it, but it looks good. It's a W2 from Frank. Well, you can use the YouTube link or you can use the Streamlabs link. It really doesn't matter if you wish to donate. Just be sure to smash the like button, if anything. You can count that as a donation. Yeah, this is revolting. I need to block out this person. Saturday, fix the drain. Gotta keep momentum up for kids for break done. Wreck my home. Well, that's what kids do, Quick Pump. They will trash a home, that's for sure. But yeah, the new website, the new VinceGoodrum.com website's coming along great. I mean, I got a lot. It's going to look a lot different than what I had before. I can show you an example of it. Give me just a minute. Because it's basically using the same template as the Anabolic Mayhem site. Or at least the old one whenever I was writing newsletters, you know, before I got into YouTube, of course. Once I got into YouTube, there was really no need for me to maintain it. But this here is what the old Anabolic Mayhem site used to look like. It's using the same template. But this here is the old, this used to be my newsletter, folks. So it's going to be pretty similar to this here. And, of course, there was a forum as well. I don't know if that'll pull back up or not. Yeah, the forum still pulls up. That's what I like about the Wayback Machine. I don't know. I may actually put the forum up, but it's going to look like this, folks, in case you want to know what the new Vince Goodrum site's going to look like. It's going to look just exactly like this. We do the soul poll in the beginning and in the end. I'm looking tired today. Yeah, I am a little tired. like I said, at my age, whenever I work out, it takes me a little bit longer to recover, you know. Plus, I've been doing a few other things. Yeah, it was top of the line back in the day, and I had sponsors and stuff like that. It's going to look a lot different. Most of the stuff is going to be replaced by my own material. No, I'm not going to show the bar and alcohol collection today. I'm actually resetting it. Plus, I can't move this camera around. I'm at my desk. But I mean, I already have a video out if you want to see the bar. So, if you've seen one bar, you've seen them all. What? So if you want to see the bar, there's the bar. You can go and click on this link here, and then you can go watch the bar setup. There you go. It's changed a bit, but that's pretty much the bar. That's too much cardio. You should, at the very most, you should only need to do an hour. I'll do 30 minutes. Of course, on my Bowflex Max Trainer, I only need 15 minutes. It's a beast of a cardio workout. It's not a shrine. It's just the reason why I got the bar originally was during COVID. You know, I couldn't go out to bars, so that's the only reason why I got that gentleman's bar to begin with. Otherwise, if COVID hadn't happened, I wouldn't have got the bar. I wouldn't have gotten two monitors or this general setup. I would have just left things the way it was. But anyway, what votes is McCluck manipulating? I don't seem to get it. Is it on his YouTube channel or something? Now, this is kind of odd. This is very odd. I want you guys to take a look at this. Now check this out, folks. If you're referring to, oh, I see what you're referring to. You got pictures like live, laugh. I can't adult today. I never adult, you know. I don't need to adult. I mean, it's important to have fun in life, folks, you know. Just because I'm at this age, it doesn't mean that, you know, I'm going to put a blanket around me and have Geritol and iron tablets. Oh, thanks. It's an Invicta watch. It's no longer made, actually. But it was at the time I was trying to build a watch collection. It's an automatic, but lately I've been having to wind it. I think The spinner is no longer recharging itself. Am I going to Chicago this spring and visit Lamar? If I ever go to Chicago, I'll definitely hang out with Lamar. We have a couple drinks and chill and stuff, and make sure he brings his ID or his friend. Now, I want you guys to check this out. I see what you're talking about now as far as McCluck. This here is Lamar's channel. Lamar has 209 subscribers, 503 videos, and he does live streams and stuff. You know? He has 503 videos. Now watch this here. This here is McCluck's site. He has 629 subscribers and 26 videos. But look how many views he has on videos. 169, 84, 169. He literally has 51,000 views. Obviously, McCluck is buying subscribers. I don't know why, but he's buying them. But in about a month or so, YouTube will probably delete most of them. I think in all, it'll probably have maybe 300. Folks, don't buy subscribers. If you're going to start your YouTube channel or so forth, don't buy subscribers because YouTube is going to take them off. And here's the thing, folks. Subscribers don't equal revenue, all right? It doesn't. It never will. Well, no, someone said he was manipulating votes or so forth, and what I mean, I guess they meant that he's manipulating his subscriber list or so forth. You see, the thing about it is, and I see all these channels with 10, 20,000, 50,000 subscribers and stuff like that, but they get very little views at all. So if the channel's monetized, you're not making any money off of it, you know? He can buy as many as he like. YouTube will take them off, but even if they don't take off the subscribers there, Tiramisu, it means nothing. He's wasting his money, you know? I'd rather have a channel with 100 subscribers, legitimate subscribers, than that, you know? And I mean, the standards are pretty different. In order to get monetized, you only need 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, and that's it. No, it doesn't, Kat. It doesn't make people more likely to subscribe. It never happens. Well, it only matters as far as views are concerned, because the one thing you can't manipulate is views. His views are pretty much the same as last week. Nobody's watching his stuff. And then you go to Lamar's channel. Lamar has 133,000 views. 133,000. So Lamar has twice as many views and way more watch hours than McCluck has, you know? Yes, according to Ancestry.com, I'm actually Vegan Gain's like third cousin or so. But I mean, he looks like my brother, so it doesn't surprise me one bit. He looks like my brother and my dad when he was his age. I mean, exactly like my brother when he was Richard's age. Of course, he's, you know, it's like a year and a half older than I am. Big Rob's channel grown to 1,000,000 subs? How? You mean manatee? Not humanity. I don't know what's going on with Lee Priest, but his shtick is not working anymore. I think Sam Sulek will become a millionaire. As far as a multimillionaire, yeah. Well, KCB, people ask me about him all the time, so eventually people will stop asking me about him. But, as with any Q&A, I'm obligated to answer questions, regardless as to how boring it is to talk about, And believe me, it's just kind of boring. But it's nice to see what kind of stupid stuff he's doing. And Cuban. Why should I, Cat? It's not going to make any difference, I mean, I'm going to still make fun of him. And people already know that I'm not a vegan or anything in no way whatsoever. I don't have an OnlyFans account. We're still two totally different people. Remember, third cousin is like down the line and stuff. We're distant cousins. Black people tend to be distant cousins. This one's just one that you can search on Ancestry.com. Lee Priest, for the most part, Ryan, is out of the spotlight. And, he's in his 50s, so he's going to get a little bit grumpier and grumpier. And that's just what happens, Big Rob's channel hasn't really grown that much. But he's actually getting thrown out of a lot of grocery stores. So that may have happened. Hang tight for a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, Lee Priest hates my guts, Tomo. But he can be quite funny. Yeah, Sam does live in a state of low cost of living. So do I. That's why I moved to South Carolina and then subsequently moved to Piedmont. Piedmont is a very, very, very low cost of living, low property taxes as well. Mm. Yeah, I eat pork. Nothing wrong with pork. It's just meat. It can be a little fattening, but if you there's very lean pork. And what's with African Americans' international fear of eating meat from a pig? There isn't, Cat. That's just Muslims. Muslims don't eat meat. You're talking about Muslims. Black folks, for the most part, eat meat. I mean, eat pork. Hey, Gerald, what's up? Yeah, I had a big frame and big arms, but it doesn't translate on the bodybuilding stage. I sucked at bodybuilding, on competing on stage. I only beat two people in my bodybuilding career, and that's only because they didn't come back from the night show. They looked a lot worse than I did, and they didn't want to be in a position to lose to someone like me. So, because I had them beat on stage easily, they were way out of shape. So they didn't bother showing up because they didn't want to finish behind me. So that was at my last show. The final show I actually did. Yeah, Sulik lives in the same state my dad and my brother live. Yeah, me and Greg used to not get along, but we're cool now. I haven't spoken with him in a while. He got banned off Facebook for posting a lot of fake information and stuff. So, which I try to tell him to quit doing that. So, Greg, I think he now posts on Truth Social. I may actually get a Truth Social account. I will be posting shorts on Rumble. So, folks, I will be starting a Rumble channel, but all it is, it's gonna just consist of all my shorts, and that's it. It's gonna be shorts of my channel. I'm not gonna be doing any actual broadcasting. Well, you definitely have to have size being a corrections officer. You can't be skinny. Humans may re. Yeah, South Carolina has a very low cost of living. Greenville is beginning to get pricey. That's also the reason why I moved over to Piedmont. It's right next door to Greenville. It's practically Greenville, just cheaper version of Greenville. It takes me 10 minutes to get to downtown. Literally, I can hop in my car. 10 minutes later, I'm in downtown Greenville. Literally, I'm 10 minutes away from Greenville. So you can't beat that with a bat and hammer. Can't touch that. I have low property taxes. Everything's all hunky dory. Folks, this is what I tell people. Don't move into the city, because you hear people always complain about rent is too damn high. It's because you live in this place that's too damn high. Move the hell out. You don't need to live there. I've never gotten first place. Never. It doesn't make any difference, Tiramisu. Even with my suck ass bodybuilding career, I've translated it over to my business. I had an account with Europa Sports. I sold almost $2 million of body solid equipment. $2 million worth. I have a fitness business and everything that makes a bunch of money each and every year. You know, I didn't have success on the stage, but in the area of business, that's a little bit different. You got to play the cards that were dealt with, that you're dealt. I've done a couple of RX Muscle lives, so if Dave asked me to come back on the show, I'll come back on the show if my schedule permits. Yeah, that's what John Romano said. And I already knew it whenever I was competing. I got long arms and a very short torso. So those are the two worst things to have when competing on a bodybuilding stage. I have very long muscle bellies. And in order to compete, you need to have an elongated torso and you need to have short muscle bellies. That's in order to be successful. Ron Harris would have gotten his pro card if he didn't have the T-Rex arms and stuff. His arms were too small. He trained hard and he had a great physique and he's won some shows, but to get to that professional level, you just have to have those genetics. But remember, Ron made the best out of his career. He's made tons of money from bodybuilding and stuff. So it's not about the trophies that you win, it's about what you do with your career in bodybuilding. It's an overall thing. It's not just competitions and trophies. There's a business element to competing in bodybuilding. Why do people know me for? For bodybuilding, for fitness. That's why people know me for. I'm not gonna watch any Wes Watson today. I don't need that crap on my channel. We can watch it on Earl Grey Tuesday. Like I said, I'm getting back to the Q&A stuff for the 1 hour shows. But trust me, I promise you we'll play it on Tuesday. I also play Wes Watson videos on my business channel. So you can subscribe to the Home Business King and you can watch a Wes Watson video on Wednesday. So you can watch, I usually play Wes Watson stuff on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So everyone's going to always get plenty of Wes Watson. Yes, I used to be a corrections officer many years ago, but I worked as a corrections officer. I worked as a corrections officer, and I had a part-time job doing security work and working clubs and stuff. I seen someone commit suicide, jump off a bulkhead, Brian. That's the craziest thing I saw. Although I do got one funny story. One time it was, and this happened on Christmas Day. I came into work. I was doing what job I was doing today. I was, whenever you go and work at any detention center, you're assigned a job, and that day was escort, where my job was to escort prisoners up and down, plus to check on and book in people in intake that was coming in, after they got arrested. So I went to check on one cell, and I saw Santa Claus. They had a sheet over the door, and of course my curiosity got the best of me. I know we only check on people whenever we have a sheet over the door. That means the person is suicidal. And, we have to check on them every 15 minutes to make sure they don't go and hang themselves or jump off a bulkhead or anything. When that guy jumped off the bulkhead, it made a very loud noise. It was like a gunshot, literally. And I'll tell you right now, it was a mess. But anyway, I went and checked on it, and one of the guys said, don't look through that door. I'm like, why not? Is the guy suicidal? No, but he's doing stuff. I'm like, well, I'm going to check anyway. I don't care. He's like, okay, but you're going to be sorry. So I went and pulled out the sheet, and sure enough, I was sorry. There was a guy dressed up in Santa Claus singing Jingle Bells, and he was jerking off. And I caught the point. I opened up the sheet at the right time to where he jizzed all over the place, literally. Dressed up in a Santa Claus suit, just jerking off and stuff. We hadn't changed him into his Bob Barker's yet. Bob Barker's is the orange jumpsuits, and if you look on any orange jumpsuit on the tags, it says Bob Barker. So we have a nickname for orange jumpsuits. We used to call them Bob Barkers. But here he is in a Santa Claus suit, and he's just fucking jerking off and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I should have taken your warning. I really should. But that's one of my good old stories. Hey, Sadie, what's up? Yeah, Angry Grandpa used to live here. Right now, there's no updates on the mean. He'll probably end up going to prison, so. I certainly do give people AIDS, that's for sure. I give people AIDS, chlamydia, gonorrhea, chlamydia, because I'm trying to get rid of you. It's an old Biggie verse. Is it safe to swallow? Swallow what? Nasty bitch. Yeah, it actually did. I'm starting to play more Janoi videos and playing some short content, copyrighted content. Yeah, we'll do the Patriot Twins. We're going to do Big Lenny's apartment, too. Oh, no problem, Frank. That, it was worth playing. I mean, I'll have to mute it and everything, but who cares. Not at all, Ryan. You have to understand when you sign up for a job as a corrections officer, you're going to have the expectation that people are going to commit suicide. People are going to pull shanks, and you're going to get injured. I've had two people try to kill me, and I was stabbed too. It wasn't a bad stab. It was just a little. It was a little graze, and stuff. We had to. He took a box spring and then fashioned it into a little jabby thing, so I got jabbed pretty well. I just took a shot for it to make sure it didn't get infected. It left a pretty nasty mark, but for the most part, he got me right here on the side, actually, and just went in. Getting stabbed, folks, is not fun. It hurts. Well, it doesn't hurt at first. When it goes in, you don't really feel anything, because obviously my adrenaline levels up. But after the adrenaline levels up, it's like you can still feel it. Basically, you can feel it. You can still feel like something's in there. It's kind of a weird sensation when you get stabbed. I mean, it feels like you have a nail still in you, even though it's already been pulled out. That's what getting stabbed is like, and it hurts. No, I drink a lot of water, so it comes out pretty well. Yeah, a lot of stuff are Bob Barker stuff. But Ryan, no, you can't be mentally ill. I mean, obviously, I was shocked. I was like, damn. But you still have a job to do. You have to understand. Every day I went into the prisons, I was scared half to death there. But it's all about overcoming your fears. You can't let your fears in life stop you from doing your job. Believe me, I was scared half to death every day, every single day I went into the detention center or in a prison or so forth. But you have to remember that level of fear is what keeps you alive. It keeps your senses, it keeps you on heightened senses. So fear is a good thing. You know, any correction officer says that they weren't scared or anything, they're full of shit. I'll tell you right now, if you ever work in any type of prison or detention center, you're going to be scared. You're going to be fearful. It's a very dangerous environment. Prisons are very dangerous. And that level of fear is very important because it keeps your senses high for stuff. And even with your senses, as I've told you before, I've been stabbed. I had urine tossed on me the first day. You're still going to get hurt at one point in time. One point in time or another, you will get hurt. You will get seriously injured, might even get killed. But that, in my opinion, is what I mean by in terms of doing alpha jobs, doing alpha shit. Doing things that could possibly get you seriously injured or killed. Whether it's doing CO work, whether you're working on top of, whether you're putting up roofs for a living and you're up on a house, you have a chance of falling off. I have a fear of heights. I was a CO for about a year and a half. I'm going to be honest with you. I got out of it because a lot of my family didn't want me working it anyway. And I got paid more doing security work. And, once I got my job at Alltel, Ryan, the Alltel job paid me 16 bucks an hour. And, here I am working in the detention center for 11.19. I'm getting 16 an hour. I don't have to work weekends. I mean, it's an easy choice. The only good thing about being a CO is I could rack up on overtime. Overtime was awesome being a CO. There was always overtime around. So I would come home I did so much overtime. I would work like 80 hours sometimes. I come home with checks like $1,000, $1,500. And on the holidays, you got triple the time. So, and then some. So I can work a holiday and I would get $33 an hour just for literally babysitting people. and you work a 12-hour shift, you know, that's money. It is chaos. Quick pump, you do second guess yourself, you know. A lot of things always run through your mind whenever you're working in a prison. All the time. You're looking around, you got eyes, you have to have eyes in the back of your head. It's creepy, it's scary. But you know, I had to pay the bills, folks. I had to make a living, you know. Not many jobs was around that was able to pay that much. So I had to overcome my fears. I had fear working in these prisons and stuff, like any natural person did, but you know, I had to overcome those and go to work every day and do my job. You know. No, I hate heights and water. I mean, that was another thing. Whenever I was in ROTC, I had to rappel from a helicopter and I had to rappel from a fire tower. I was scared to death of heights, but again, I had to overcome my fear of heights in order to do the task that was in front of me. That includes an Australian rappel, folks. Do y'all guys know what an Australian rappel is? It's when you go forward. Let me give you an example of an Australian rappel. This here is pretty much what I had to... This is an Australian rappel, folks. This is what I had to do in ROTC. You hold a hand out like this. You lean forward.
Come on.
If he hooks.
Now that's a wrong one. Let me do another one. Hold on. He did that one wrong. You're supposed to get down lean. A lot of people fold over much. You walk down.
Shotgun gaze.
Now he's supposed to jump. There you go. And then, of course, there's the West Point rappel. So I had to do those particular rappels. The West Point rappel is you take one step down backwards and then you just completely jump all the way off. That's a West Point rappel. If I was a fireman, I'd slide down the pole, but I wouldn't call it a soul pole. Yeah, there was 2 officers that brought in drugs, and yeah, they got booked in and got put in the cell there, you know. That actually happens a lot, Ryan, because they can make a lot of money bringing in drugs and cell phones and contraband. So I saw 2 people get arrested. But yes, that happens a lot, actually. Sadie, you nasty. It's a scary rappel, but again, you have to overcome your fears. I was in ROTC, you know. Nobody wants to rappel out of a freaking helicopter. I'm black. We're naturally scared of heights. You know that. I'll be honest with you. As far as stereotypes are concerned, black people are afraid of heights. And we're also fearful of swimming. I can swim, you know, and I can do that. If I don't have to rappel or swim, I'm definitely not going to do it, you know. Actually, I'm not afraid of snakes. Snakes don't bother me one bit. I'm allergic to bees, so yeah, I'm definitely afraid of bees. But snakes have never bothered me. In fact, I have a rat snake under my house. Actually, I actually have two rat snakes under my house, and I've never called an exterminator because they get rid of rats. They keep the rats out of them. That's why they call them rat snakes. They eat rats. So if they're up there munching on rats, it keeps rats away. Rats won't come around my house because I have two rat snakes under there. Every once in a while, they'll come up on my porch patio, and I just say hey to them, and they look up at me and give me a nod like, and then they just go on about their way. I've never went skiing before, so no, I can't ski. Well, if you're a trustee, sometimes they'll give you phones, from what I understand. But I mean, I don't know how they get the cell phones. Probably up their ass or so forth. But there's probably other ways at this point. They're not a big deal, really. Being a CEO was very minty, I could tell you. I saw a lot of funny stuff. Saw a lot of fights there that was pretty minty. I saw someone get their head cracked open with a lunch tray. I had a block riot, literally, all because someone stole an extra cup of Kool-Aid. Yeah, being a CEO can be minty and fun. I mean, and I had some good time there. We chatted with inmates and stuff like that. And certain times there, I actually gave business classes in those prisons. You see, on the weekends, we have pastors and preachers come in. But then I can actually volunteer if I wish to. We had a side room to where prisoners can come in and they can learn courses. So I taught them a little bit of business. I volunteered. I didn't get paid for it or anything. But whenever you do things like that, it makes you look good in front of inmates here. They don't give you so much trouble if you're doing the volunteer stuff. So yeah, still dangerous, but you know you have to remember that just because they're in jail or prison, you don't know what their charge is. You don't know whether they're guilty or innocent. They only send poor people to jail and prison. So at the end of the day, you got to treat them like human beings. I mean, I had to whoop some of their asses here when necessary, but I never whooped anyone's ass that I didn't have to. Yep, yeah, I mean, they're human beings there. And there's no reason for me to be an asshole to prisoners or inmates. That's just not cool. There were some people that did. Like there was one person that was in my class that graduated whenever we did training. He used to fuck with prisoners too. I mean, guess what? They fucked him up pretty bad, and then he got fired. He just didn't have the mental capacity to be. Not only that, he also lost it. He also dropped a key in there, a handcuff key, literally. He dropped a handcuff key. I'm like, are you crazy? Would you like an old motor? No. All right, folks, we got 10 minutes left, so get your donations in if you wish. Make sure you smash that like button. We're going to close it out. Let's get a little music going. No, Jay, won't do that. And in the future, don't be calling my donators simps. Well, Ryan, he has people that pretty much runs his channel, that does all his videos and stuff. All he needs to do is all he does is just sit in front of the camera and talk, Ryan, at this point. That's not hard to do. He did a lot more work back in the day whenever he was working for Muscular Development, writing articles and stuff. The truth of the matter is there was very few people that was writing articles at MD. You know how you used to see Ronnie and Dorian and stuff like that? Ron Harris wrote all their articles. They never wrote any articles. No, I wouldn't date Chaz Bono. Well, next time, Jay, it's going to be a whole hour, so... Be proper to those who support the channel. I'm a very forgiving person, but, you know. But sometimes, Brother Vince got a spank. Like, pss, 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 ooh, ooh. That's right, folks. Thank Pugman. I wish you well. Porch stream with the snakes. I'm going to start doing some outdoor streams. I'm just not sure when. What did my grandparents like to do for leisure activities? Party, drink and party. What else could they do? I mean, they grew up in a time of serious segregation. The Klan was prominent and stuff. I mean, my granddad, he used to work for a person. And after work, he would have to climb in the truck and put a sheet over him while his boss went to the Klan meeting. So he had to keep a sheet over his head for like 3 hours, sometimes 4 or 5. So that way they didn't know he was in that truck and get his ass hung. So the only thing they could do was drink and party. And play cards and stuff. Ah, no problem there, Ryan. Hey, Donald Trump. I'm definitely not going to make a YouTube thumbnail that says porch on a porch. Did they ever go bowling? No. They weren't allowed to. I mean, the only place they can really go to, my granddad had to go behind the back at stores. Could only go to black restaurants. There was there was just a fish house he can go to. Seaboard, North Carolina didn't have much. Ah, thanks, Chad. I mean, I'm sure my grandparents did other things, but that's pretty much what he told me. He said he couldn't really do much. Can't ask him now. He's been dead for like over 30 years. He was born in like 1903, so. But he had a long and prosperous life. He did what he could do, you know. He was able to do a lot more after the civil rights movement. But he was a farmer, so he didn't have much money to do anything. In fact, I don't even think he may not have never left North Carolina, except for South Carolina. Yes, Chris Benoit murdered this family. The home? Oh! The minute my granddad passed away, they tore that motherfucker down, you know. Do you know how much my granddad was paying per month for rent? My granddad was paying $10 a month rent for that broken down house. It was in bad shape, but he lived there because it was $10 a month. I think he signed the original agreement to rent it out back in the 30s or 40s. Now, $10 was a lot of money back then in the 30s, but, you know, the rent never changed. He paid the exact same amount. I mean, there was never any work done on the house, so it just sat there. But yeah, they tore that thing down. They got condos and stuff there at this point. They got rid of the cotton fields are no longer around neither. But yeah, they've turned that place into condos and shit. But yeah, that house wasn't even worth fixing or anything. I mean, in order at my granddad's house, if you wanted water, you had to go outside and go on the well pump. It wasn't really it had one of those old washing machines that had the wringer up on the very top and stuff. And you had to hang them out on the clothesline. The clothesline was all rusted and stuff. So we had to put a sheet over it before we can hang out the clothes. If I ever go back to Seaboard, I'll do some videos of the area and I'll put them up here. Well, Donald Trump, he didn't order a sandwich or anything. He just went into a toilet and it just blew up. He's suing the place for $100,000, but, you know, Dunkin' Donuts, that place knew that toilet was having problems for months. But I feel bad for him. I mean, leaving that bathroom covered in feces and stuff. I mean, it doesn't take much to fix a toilet, but obviously the owner was a cheap bastard and stuff. I do miss my granddad and my grandma, you know. It's a cycle of life, folks. But they told me some interesting stories about how he got his first car. Obviously a Model T Ford, so driving around and stuff. And how my rest of my family went to, you know, World War I and World War II. A lot of my family pretty much fought in all the wars. World War I, II, Korean War, Vietnam and stuff, just like most other people. It's pretty cold, but it probably isn't going to snow. Right now, it's 40 degrees, so it isn't really bad out. Yeah, but it's manageable. It's still good walking weather. Yeah, I've had a lot of family that served in Vietnam, World War II, Korean War. A lot of my family served. But folks, it is 3 o'clock p.m. Well, let me make sure it looks right for the cameras. It's 3 o'clock p.m. And that is the end of Soul Pose Saturday. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for The Hangover. Hope you guys have a good afternoon. And always remember, don't take life too seriously. Enjoy it. And as always, peace and soul.